Welcome. It is episode 35, I think. It is Tame Talladega. I think the hurricane chased all the wildness out of the drivers. Maybe it was enough concussions to scare everybody to not take too many chances. But we had 3 races at Talladega. We didn't have the big one. It was crazy. Who would have thought? But it's Talladega, so there's still going to be some wild things happening. And speaking of wild things, I am joined by my co-host, Aaron Simmons, the one, the man, the myth, the legend, the only, the greatest Tennessee Volunteers fan that ever lived. Aaron Simmons, how are you tonight?
Doing fairly well. This past 2 weeks have been a little rough due to workers' comp. I feel like I haven't really been able to do much of anything, but slowly getting better. Slowly starting to get back in working shape finally, and hopefully, tomorrow the doctor will clear me up to go back to work and actually start being productive again. So here's hoping.
All right, yeah. You are way too young to try and drain the Social Security system, so get your ass back to work.
Not sure. I'm not sure if I have any to drain out of. So.
Oh. Okay. All right. It looks like we had some comments already from Adam Lauer, but I think he is tuned out. I'm not showing any viewers right now, but hopefully we will get a few back in here. While we are hopefully gaining a few viewers, let's go ahead and start talking about the truck race. And I'm going to hit the truck race and just say, you know what? Really what we got is we got 3 major storylines here, okay? Because it was a lot of follow the leader. It was no big crashes. It was nothing real big until we get to the very end. But our 3 big stories are Jordan Anderson has a fuel line break, I believe, and his car just basically went up in flames. And I don't mean he had a brake fire and there was some fire coming out from under the left front tire. I mean, the entire truck went up in flames. It was scary to watch. He was actually, before the truck came out, he had his head out the window net, trying to either climb out or see, and then basically got out as the truck crashed into the wall. Thank goodness he didn't get out and get trapped between the truck and the wall, because he could have been more severely injured. Really scary. He got life flighted out to a hospital. They did release him and send him home with 2nd-degree burns, which is good, because 3rd-degree, you're talking skin grafts, but 2nd-degree is good. Couple of things to follow up with the story. Big props to Dale Earnhardt Jr., who let Jordan Anderson fly home on his private plane after the race. And then, I just saw today that Jordan Anderson went to, I think, the Wake Forest Burn Center. He was having a little bit of problems that they weren't anticipating. But at any rate, Jordan Anderson, big story there. Other big story, bonehead move that I cannot comprehend. Hailie Deegan has a tire changer come out. I think she clipped him going into her pit stall, loses the tire. It rolls clear across pit road, almost all the way across the grass, and the tire changer chases it. And these guys that do these pits for the trucks are usually guys who also do pits for the Cup Series. They know that is a no-no. They know you can't do that. I don't know where this guy came from or what he was thinking. This was under green flag conditions, so when he takes off running there, they've got to throw a yellow flag for him. It was a move that I was watching. I'm going, somebody tackle this guy. Somebody tell him he's not allowed to do this. This is like, I have not seen anything in sports like this where someone was so unaware of the rules and the safety protocols. This was so bad that it wasn't one of those things where you're going to get fined and suspended. They escorted him from the facility during the race. So I don't know if he I don't know if that was the last pit stop or who they got to change the tire after that or carry the tire, whatever his job was. But yeah, he got escorted out. At the end, it becomes a little bit of a controversial finish. Matt DiBenedetto is declared the winner. He crashes with Ben Rhodes. Ben Rhodes hits him, sends him below the yellow line. Matt DiBenedetto comes screaming back up across the track. It looked like that. I'm blanking out on the kid's name. Kid from Alabama. That I think it was his home track. Looked like he beat him across the line. But NASCAR ruled that the caution had waived prior to them crossing the line. And at that point, DiBenedetto was ahead, giving Matt D his first win, which was huge. We are all big Matty D fans on this show, and it was great to see him win. And keep in mind, he has now had multiple, I can't remember how many, but multiple top 10 finishes in this truck, and now put it in victory lane. And this is a team, to give you an idea of what kind of equipment is in, they had one top 10 finish all of last year. And I want to say he's had 7 or 8 now and put it in victory lane. So that's kind of showing the talent level he can bring to the table. But anyway, I'm going on and on about this truck race. And we'll talk some more about it in the green flag, red flag questions. But Aaron, give me your take on all this.
Honestly, what I took away from the truck race was that it wasn't really the most exciting Talladega race I've ever saw. It was pretty much just 1 or 2 lanes pretty much the entire time up until the very end, which I think everyone and their grandmother would have saw if you saw NASCAR the last two years. But it certainly had its moments, especially with the tire changer going out there and getting the tire. I mean, how stupid can you be? I mean, I get it. You're trying to do everything you can to help your team out, to make sure that everything is off the track, to make sure racing is going green as far as possible. But man, once that tire leaves pit road, it is not responsibility anymore. It is for the officials. Just take your penalty and go. By you going out there, you are endangering yourself and the team. It's just a bad look for you. And honestly, I get it, man. But you're kind of stupid. Just go across the wall. Don't get yourself killed over a damn tire. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Also, hey, Texas boy. Also, all right, appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you coming in tonight. Have a good night, brother.
Is that a person or is that a bot? I'm looking at the comment he had above that, which I don't even know what that is.
On YouTube, it is like some emojis over there. So it is a real person. It's just
okay.
It's just that for our part over here on StreamYard, it's just showing up as the, I guess, command for that, for those emojis. Also, let's see if I can find
Mike Hoare jumping in, telling us it was Brett Holmes. I could not think of the kid's name. Yeah, local guy from Alabama.
Yep, it was Brett Holmes and yeah, Adam, I'm the greatest fall fan. No, it is me.
Okay, and we had a comment here about where is Zach tonight. We think Zach's on vacation. We're not exactly certain.
Yeah, we did not get anything from Zach tonight, so we are going Zachless to the dismay of Adam. So we do apologize for that. We had no control over that situation.
Okay, so
anyway,
let's jump into the Xfinity race. Not a lot going on in the Xfinity race. How boring was the Xfinity race? Let me tell you how boring the Xfinity race. Ty Gibbs didn't even get in trouble. Okay? That's how well behaved everyone was.
The bare minimum now for the Xfinity race did not even get met.
Yeah. Ty Gibbs, no arguments, no tempers, no making anybody mad, nothing. That's how tame the Xfinity race was. Austin Hill, showing he is a great plate racer, gets stage win in stage 1 and stage 2. Looking pretty good. RCR power. RCR looks pretty good in that Xfinity Series. They know how to make a car go fast on a plate track, at least in the Xfinity Series. But at the end, it's AJ Allmendinger getting a win, getting his first super speedway win. I did not know that. If you rewind in the history of college racing, The first time they made any noise as being a powerhouse was with their super speedway program. The first time we were starting to take notice of Matt Collig and the group he put together was when they started running up front and dominating super speedway races. So I had no idea that AJ Allmendinger had never won an Xfinity race, because you've seen Collig cars running up front in those super speedways so much, but he wins it by 15 one-thousandths of a second. And he has said before that he hates plate racing. Even after winning, they asked him in victory lane, so do you still hate this plate racing? And he answered emphatically, yes. So that's what you call being scarred, when even a victory can't wipe away your hatred for a certain type of racing. So, but that was the Xfinity race. Not a whole lot going on, but I was a little bit surprised that Austin Hill didn't get the win, because he really looked like the man to beat all day long. Aaron, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great opportunity for Austin Hill to get I believe, his third win of the season. Unfortunately, just Talladega played at the end, and he just got shuffled out of the lineup. But hey, you know what? Always great to see AJ Allmendinger win. Always great to see that man just go crazy after a win, just screaming on the radio, "Hell yeah!" and just jumping up and down like a little kid at on Christmas Day, after a win. So it was always great to see, especially when him dropping an F-bomb on live TV is always a plus.
And one of the things that strikes me about this is, if you really follow the racing week in and week out, everything you get from Allmendinger is pure emotion, good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when he is up there and he is winning, it is the highest of highs, and you can see it coming out in his emotion. But when he's having a bad day, you can hear the crew chief. The crew chief has got to play psychiatrist and talk him off the ledge and keep his head in the game. But I love the fact that whatever AJ Allmendinger is saying, it's the raw emotion. He's wearing the emotion on his sleeve, and it's not an act. Everything you get from him is pure. I also want to say, man, he owes in my opinion, a huge thank you to that victory for Landon Castle. Landon stuck with him to the very end. In my opinion, Landon Castle should have had his car parked right behind him in victory lane, because Landon pushed him to that victory. I don't think Allmendinger wins if Landon Castle pulls out of line, but Landon proved to be a fantastic teammate and literally pushed him to victory lane, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, that's just Talladega. It is you find friends where you find them, and if you don't have any friends, then you're just kind of screwed.
Yeah.
But then again, coming from a Tennessee guy, I loved seeing Bane up there kind of like fighting for the win, taking no prisoners, making no friends, trying to find a way to get that race win. It kind of bit him off at the end. I was listening to Trevor Bane out there just having success and having fun going racing again. It warms my Knoxville, Tennessee soul.
Yeah. Okay, so on to the Cup race. Okay, and all I can say about the Cup race is, whatever has been going on in the world, we have had a downturn in the economy. We have had a hurricane. We may have had sickness or job issues or whatever. But now, order has been restored to the universe, okay? Chase Elliott has won at Talladega, okay? That's it. Most popular driver wins at Talladega. They blow the siren. He's advanced to the round of 8. All world peace has happened because Chase Elliott got the win and is now in the next round of the playoffs, so everybody can relax. That's kind of how I saw it. If you're not a Chase Elliott fan, you probably saw it differently. But there were some people who had some trouble. Logano, Cindric, and Bell. We did have no big ones again. We had basically everybody running at the end of the day. We saw Ryan Blaney grab a stage win and run near the front all day, which he really needed a good points day. He's kind of getting, I think, a little bit of speed back and becoming a little more consistent. No big mechanical failures, not a plethora of tire issues. Everything, like I said, it's like the universe fell back into order this week. NASCAR's most popular driver won. The story was about the racing and not about the flat tires and mechanical failures. We did miss Alex Bowman, who missed the race because of concussion-like symptoms. So we're a little bit worried about him. Hopefully he makes it back. But stage 2 and stage 3 won by Chase Elliott. And again, what surprised me most was the lack of a big one. And I don't know if these guys are driving a little bit scared because of what they are seeing from the guys getting concussions. I don't know if all the trouble with the mechanical issues with blown tires and power steering has made people run a little bit more cautious, or maybe it was just the stars aligning. But this was definitely the calmest Talladega race I have seen in a long time. But Aaron, what do you have to say?
Honestly, that was probably the most tame Talladega race I have seen in a very long time. And I think this color had a lot to do with it. Mostly being drivers not wanting to get any more concussions or injuries out of this car. But again, it was the most tame Talladega race I ever saw. Besides, I think the stage 1 caution, that was pretty much it. I mean, I think like 38 drivers or so finished or something, like 32 drivers finished, which is unheard of nowadays. But yeah, I mean, with Chase Elliott winning, all is right with the world. Cats and dogs are loving each other. There's peace in the Middle East now. Our government is actually working to benefit the people. Republicans doing good. Democrats are doing good. There is a God. Everything is right with the world. All praise Chase Elliott. All praise him. May his reign be forever and graceful and all that kumbaya crap. But it's just, I thought Blaine would have had it there coming up. I thought he would have had it. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Nothing eventful happened at Talladega, which is odd for me to say.
Yeah, I actually went to a Talladega race in 1992. And this is back before stage racing. And I think they had one caution all day because of a rain shower that popped up in one of the turns. That was it. And that's how big the track was. It was literally raining in one turn and not the rest of the racetrack. And that was it. That is probably the only race that comes to mind that maybe was a tamer Talladega race. And again, that was 1992, and I only remember it because I was there. Otherwise, it was a pretty uneventful race. But at any rate, that's it. That's all we got on race reviews. We can go on and talk about here. Let's get into the racing news for a minute. And Aaron, you want to take us through the racing news, or would you prefer I did that one?
I'll go ahead and take it over since you did the reviews.
Okay.
And for our first news story of the day, I think this is the biggest one of the news stories. Speaking of AJ Allmendinger winning Talladega, guess who's coming back? The Dinger is going to return to the Cup race, to the Cup Series, and then 16 for Kaulig Racing starting next year. I think it was kind of one of those stories where you could really kind of see it come to the worst, but it wasn't really confirmed. It was going to happen. No one's really kind of be surprised by it, but still, it is happening. The Dinger is going to return to the Cup Series for the first time since 2013, 2014, something like that. But Tom, what do you think of this?
Again, great to hear. We talked about, I love AJ Allmendinger, but not a surprise at all. It was not really that this has been the most limited schedule I think I have seen. He announced that he was running a limited Cup schedule in 2022, and it seems like he shows up at the track every week. So it was not very limited, but I'm glad to see that he is going to make it. I think it's going to be a huge addition for Kaulig. I also want to say that I have been unimpressed to this point with what I have seen out of Kaulig in the Cup program with Justin Haley as their full-time driver. But I think when you team him with AJ Allmendinger, I'm saying they're going to get 2 or 3 wins next year because not just the addition of Allmendinger, but they got a 15th place at Talladega. And if I am not mistaken, I think Justin Haley ran really well at Texas. I'm going to try to look it up here real quick. But yeah, Justin Haley got a third the week before at Texas. So I think that colleague program is making strides at the cup level. So I think AJ's got a great time to come in there. I think they had some growing pains this year, both with the increased competition level, having to run 36 races, dealing with a new car. I think it was all a little bit overwhelming for them, but I think they're starting to catch up to everything. So I think this is a great time for AJ Allmendinger to be stepping up.
Absolutely. And I think before we go any further, Caleb, thank you so much for being a member of this man's channel. Hang on. I'll get my directions here soon.
The setup, man. That's me. You found me.
Right here. That's right here. Man, thank you so much for bringing a member of the channel. That is so generous of you. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Caleb. But yeah, I mean, how can you not like the story? I mean, AJ coming back, that is a huge boost for this College Cup team, who has shown speed throughout the season. Of course, at Talladega, Daytona, they are threats to kind of be competitive up there. Darlington, I think they kind of shocked everybody for actually running up there towards the later half of the race and actually finishing, I think, inside the top 5. But they have shown speed throughout the season, but it hasn't really been that consistent. I think that's kind of what hindered him throughout this entire season. Now you have a veteran in AJ Allmendinger who's been to the Cup Series before, has been to the slog, and knows how to set up race cars for the road courses. You got another dangerous weapon in the Cup Series right now for Colleague. And so teams have better watch out for Colleague for next season because they're going to be gunning for trophies. They're trophy hunting in Cup now. So be warned.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep us going, Aaron.
All right. And so, kind of more surprising news of the week. William Byron is going to appeal the penalty from Texas, expected to be heard Thursday. Now, to kind of catch up on those who have not heard this already, William Byron and Denny Hamlin have let's see what's the proper word for it. Trading pains a little bit too much at Texas. I think Hamlin had roped up into Byron off of turn 2, causing Byron to go into the wall. Under caution, Byron, and this is in a video, by the way, just rams right to the back of Denny Hamlin, sending him spinning into the grass. Hamlin losing a bunch of positions, and then at the end of the day, Byron getting slammed like 25-point penalty and like $50,000 in fines. And they're going to appeal that, which is odd. Tom, what do you think of this?
Here's the thing. A 25-point penalty in March, April, May, or June, it's not a big deal. It really isn't. Who cares? You just as well slap him on the wrist. A 25-point penalty in the playoffs is a huge deal, okay? That puts William Byron 11 points below the cut line in 10th place. So 25 points, think about it. Every round of the playoffs is 3 races. 25 points that you've now got to make up over the course of 3 races is a lot more daunting than trying to overcome a 25-point penalty in a 26-race regular season. I am not surprised that they are appealing it for the simple reason that it doesn't cost anything. You go in, you make him hear your case. You got a slight chance of winning, but it's not like you're going to come out of it if you lose with a 50-point penalty. So it's like, it doesn't really hurt anything. I think a best case scenario is they get it reduced slightly. But I think even that best case scenario has a slim chance. I don't think it's going to be, I don't see any scenario where it gets reversed.
No, I see absolutely no way, shape, or form that's going to get reduced. I mean, because what evidence do you have to say is, no, he didn't intentionally wreck him? What are you talking about? Hamlin just gonna slow down in front of Byron. You know, that's all he did. Well, because they were under caution. You idiots. I mean, what defense does Byron have to say that penalty should be reduced or nullified? Like none.
I can give you three. I'm not saying they're good, but I'm saying that these are your three best arguments. Okay.
Okay.
I was looking at my gauges and didn't realize how fast I was closing on him. I didn't see the caution lights come out until it was too late. It didn't appear to me that he was maintaining pace lap speed, and that's why I ran into him. It wasn't that I was going too fast, it's that he was going too slow. I'm not saying they're good defenses. I'm not saying they're believable. I'm saying that's probably the best you can come up with.
And those would be good defenses, if not for Byron pretty much saying after the post-race interview, yeah, I basically wrecked him.
Yeah, you got to hope that video gets lost or destroyed is all I can say.
What goes in the internet stays in the internet. So, no, that's not going to fly.
Now, see, this goes back to something that my brother-in-law told me. My brother-in-law was an attorney, and he said, and he's done everything as an attorney from, personal injury to being a defense attorney in criminal cases. And as he says, if I could talk to every client before the police do, I'd never have anybody go to jail. So, yeah, if the attorney could have grabbed a hold of Byron before he spoke to the press and that doesn't get out, maybe he's got a chance.
Well, unfortunately, he decided to talk without a lawyer during his post-race interview and basically said, yeah, I wrecked him.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you can try it. It doesn't cost you anything besides just paperwork and time, but yeah, there's no getting around that. I don't see him winning this whatsoever. If he wins this or gets it reduced, then that will just inflame the entire garage even more so.
Especially Denny Hamlin.
Especially Hamlin. Hamlin, Harvick, Busch. Oh yeah, all of them. They're going to get pissed. Anyway, moving on. So, adding to Kurt Busch, adding to Alex Bowman, there'll be another driver missing this week, and it's going to be Cody Ware to Mr. Charlotte Rowville. This weekend, JJ Yeley will fill in. According to Cody Ware, apparently he had suffered an ankle injury at the crash at Texas Motor Speedway, which you have not seen. It is a brutal impact. Apparently, he was able to go at Talladega because it's Talladega. You can just hold your foot to the throttle and you're fine. Rowville, not so much. So he will miss that one. And good old JJ Yeley will fill in. Tom, do you have anything you want to add to this story?
This Cody Ware, my fantasy lineup is wrecked. Okay. Las Vegas, the odds makers are scrambling right now because Cody Ware was the prohibitive favorite to win at the Rowville. Las Vegas doesn't know what to do. NASCAR is scrambling. They're worried about TV ratings with no Cody Ware. Like I said, personally, I have no idea how I'm going to make my fantasy picks. This is devastating. I would not be surprised if they didn't just cancel the whole race at the Rowville this weekend. At a minimum, postpone it till Cody Ware can come back.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, my fans line is kind of screwed too, but I really hope Cody Ware does make a full recovery and does come back this season. And I wish for the best for Ware and JJ Yeley, but that's not the direction I thought that's going to go in. But anyway, we will now move on to who's hot and who's not. That's the end of the news segment this week unless something just pops up at the last minute. But Tom, give us your who's hot or who's not for this week.
Okay, before we get into the who's hot or who's not, I want to give a shout out to some friends of mine, 4 good friends, 4 guys that I'm actually in a fantasy league with. They have started their own little podcast about NASCAR called Running on Scuffs. They argue a little bit more than Aaron and I do. They actually have a segment in there called Debates where they are forced to take different sides of an issue. And I am surprised that there is not bloodshed in some of those. But they are great guys. They are diehard race fans. They know what they're talking about. Tune in and check them out. They are Mondays, Running on Scuffs. I'm going to put a link to their YouTube channel there. If you like what we're doing here, you're gonna like them as well. There's some similarities between our shows, I think, but they are pure race fans talking racing. Check them out. Running on Scuffs, great friends of mine. But getting into the who's hot and who's not. All right. I'm going to brag a little bit here. Who's hot? Who's not? Right here, me. I'm going with me as who's hot. Okay. In one fantasy league, I won. The other one, I took over the points lead, and I am third in the one that I did not win in. So I am running. I've got the points lead in one fantasy league, third place in another, and I grabbed a win this weekend. So that's me. I'm hot. And I'm humble too. So, as far as not, I'm going. Who's not is the big one. We didn't have the big one at Talladega, and I'm not talking not having the big one in the Cup race. I'm saying we didn't have the big one in any of the races. Which, from a standpoint of driver safety, I'm thrilled about that. I really don't like plate racing because as much as I love to see underdogs win, I hate to see all these cars get torn up that costs millions of dollars. And it seems like it is always the smaller teams who suffer the most at these tracks. So I was thrilled to not see the big one, but it was very rare too. So as far as who is not, the big one at Talladega is who is not.
Yeah, Aaron, it was just odd to see the big one not show up at Talladega or at Talladega Race this week. God, that was weird.
Well, I record all the races so I can go back and watch them in case I can't watch them live or to pick up on things I may have missed. And you get to the end of these races and it's like, wait a minute, rewind this thing. I've missed something there. Where was the big one? I had to miss it.
Well, I guess it would be very technical. There was a big one at the end of the truck race.
That's true.
I mean, if you want to get like real technical, there was one at the truck race, and there was kind of one at the Cup Series. If you want to call that a big one, but
by Talladega standards, I'm not sure it was.
Yeah, not that impressed. Yeah. Anyway, so for my who's not, I got to go with Redneck Jesus 3.0, as I have heard him been called. Mr. Chase Elliott. In 15 races, he got 4 wins, 9 top 5s and top 10s, 302 laps led. I think it was not too long ago where we started to think Chase Elliott may not have been, kind of up there in championship form. Well, now he's looking to get right back in that form during the playoffs. I can only imagine Shaq now has something to do with that form. But anyway, and who's not? A good old Recky Spinhouse Jr. In the same 15 races, only 5 top 20s and 31 laps led. Most of them were probably at Talladega or Atlanta or somewhere, Daytona probably. But yeah, I mean, Spinhouse looking great at the start of the season, looking like he may be, a playoff contender early on this season. Just fell off the face of the earth and has not really been too relevant, as of late. He's had some flashes at Talladega or at Texas, but not really too relevant as of late, which is a shame because I want to see him do well.
The mullet man, wanted to see him do well. He was my dark horse for Talladega. I kind of cursed him.
I mean, he was until he came back into his Spinhouse self and wrecked Joey Logano, which I'm not complaining.
Few people are. That may have done more for his driver popularity than anything he's ever done.
Ain't that the truth?
Okay. All right. Green flag, red flag is next. And this is your segment, Aaron. And I think we got a few new viewers like Caleb. So make sure you explain how green flag, red flag works.
Absolutely. So, in this segment, I will be reading off four statements, and/or questions, and Tom and I will either agree with it being green flag, and we explain why, or disagree with it, red flag, and then also explain why. In this segment, we don't really have a good chance to really talk to our viewers to kind of like communicate, kind of, a back and forth banter on things, but this segment is a true exception. Because in this segment, we would love to hear from you, the audience at home, to see whether you agree or disagree with these statements from what you saw this weekend, or just your general knowledge of NASCAR. Whether you are a top NASCAR executive or just watching NASCAR for the first time, we don't care where you are on the spectrum because we know a little about NASCAR too and how it truly works. We're just here to just enjoy it and have fun and kind of like teach you guys the way of NASCAR, or at least what we know. So please feel free to kind of give your opinions and kind of give your answers on things, because we are truly curious on this. And this is number one. NASCAR made the right call by declaring Matt DiBenedetto the winner of the truck race.
All right, so if you did not see the end of the truck race, I'm going to show it here at the risk of getting a copyright strike on my channel. But here we go. And what I want you to notice is that Matt DiBenedetto, he is the blue truck back here. And I don't think you can really see when the caution light comes on. There it's waving as they are wrecking. So let's rewind this. And I didn't like the way on the last lap they kept changing the camera angles.
Rhodes still there, trying to hold off.
Yeah, by the time they flip back, the yellow flag you'll notice is waving up here.
Holmes on the outside line, and
now,
I think
one of the big things is, if I can get it to rewind one more time, this truck up here is the one who's actually going to cross the finish line first, and that is Brett Holmes. So watch that high line. This is DiBenedetto down here being wrecked by Ben Rhodes.
And the yellow and the checkers.
So I am going to say, as much as I love Matt DiBenedetto, red flag. You don't throw a caution when the trucks are 100 yards from the start-finish line, or even 200 yards, or whenever it was that they threw that yellow flag. At that point, nobody's going to be able to back down speeds by any substantial margin if you are throwing a yellow flag at that point, okay? If you're that close and they're 200 yards from the start-finish line, let them wreck and let them race to the finish. Because I'm sorry, at the speeds they're going, they're not going to be able to slow down that much anyway. I think they made the wrong call. They should have just let the race finish under green, even though that would have cost Matt DiBenedetto a win. So that is all that I have got on that one. I'm saying red flag.
And as for my verdict, just hearing your argument, Tom, I would have to say possibly just going red flag as well. Again, it was like the situation with the All-Star race, and saying that you are so close to the finish. You can like smell the paint of the start-finish line. You're that close to it. Just whatever happens in the back, just let them do it. Just let them race. And this is one of those rules that NASCAR has been very wishy-washy on all throughout its history. The prime example that comes to my mind is the 2007 Daytona 500 with Kevin Harvick and Mark Martin literally inches from each other, like nose to nose, battling for the race win. There is a big one going on behind them. They don't care. Let the race end under green. They did it for that race. Why don't they do it for this race? It doesn't make any sense. But my only explanation for that is because, you saw so many drivers get hurt, especially with Jordan Anderson getting burned. I'm guessing they didn't want any more drivers getting hurt that day. Is my only explanation that NASCAR just got a little too gun happy with the caution lights and the caution flags. And so I'm guessing that's my explanation for the sudden caution there. But in the end, it's going to suck for somebody. And for that day, it just happened to be, Brett Holmes. They got kind of screwed there at the end, but somebody was going to get screwed there at the end anyway. So in the end, it was going to be a lose-lose situation. However they wanted to do it.
Yep, true. All right, now pay attention. This next one is a good one.
All right, so our number 2 of the night, Hailie Deegan's crew member chasing the tire across the infield grass was a dumber move than this man marrying his ex-wife. I believe there's a video for this one.
Just so we have some comparison, here is the Hailie Deegan crew member.
Tire bouncing across pit road, Jamie.
Absolutely.
I believe we
as you can see, it is all the way across there.
As you saw that tire get away, crew member goes to get it right sides only for Ben Rhodes. Josh.
I mean, that is tens of feet.
As you see that crew member
going maybe about 100 feet away.
What a mess. You're exactly
not
right.
100, but it's pretty close.
Here she comes in.
She hits him and knocks the tire,
and
she knocks him down, and he loses
ran
the
into
tire.
her tire carrier, and that's why these guys have to dodge this tire bouncing across pit road, and what a great job they did. And I would imagine that's what brought the caution out when that crew member ran so close to.
Okay. So how is this one phrased? I am going to say green flag that was a dumber move than me marrying my ex-wife, for the simple reason that as much as that was a looking back, an awful move, I did get 2 wonderful children out of it. So I cannot say that it was that bad overall because of the wonderful children I got out of it. So for that reason, I'm going to say the man chasing the tire made a dumber move. So I'm going green flag.
Yeah, I'm also going green flag on that. It is easy. You do not do that kind of thing. I mean, teams have fired people on the spot over doing something that's stupid. I mean, what? You're going to risk your life getting run over at over 150 miles an hour all for a tire? No, I'm not doing that. No one with common sense should do that. You can make the argument saying that yes, he was trying to get a tire back for his team. Yes, he was just trying to do his job. Yes, he was just really ecstatic and just trying to make sure that he is committed to this team. But the way that you show commitment to that team in that situation is just to go back over the damn wall. Don't get yourself hurt. Don't get yourself killed. Just don't. So I'm going green flag. That was being stupid, and plus you did get something good out of that marriage. So yes, I'll have to agree. We got. I'm sorry.
Let's show. It was. This is how bad it was. Okay, NASCAR didn't fine him or suspend him or anything like this after the race. They pulled his card and escorted him from the facility during the race. They're like, if you're that stupid, we're not giving you a chance to do anything else stupid. You're out of here.
Yep, on the spot. He was like, "No, you're going home now." Also, okay, Mike, you did correct yourself. Green flag, but I was going to ask you why you think it's even. Also, got Rebecca coming in saying green flag, very dangerous. Yes, that is absolutely dangerous. Ugh, just don't be that dumb.
And I don't know how you don't know that's against the rules. Most of these guys that are doing the truck series are also pitting for the Xfinity or Cup. It's usually the same guys, and you would think that they would be well versed in the rules, but
yeah, I mean, I think the last time that happened, I think it was a Richard Childress crew member, and he said, "If I catch you guys doing that thing ever again, you're no longer working for this organization." Yeah. They take it that seriously. In a in a sport where safety is top priority, having someone just rush onto a track where there are high-speed cars or trucks going across it to get a tire to bring it on back, that's just stupid.
Yeah.
That's just
and
absolutely
I don't know if that was the last pit stop or not. I can't remember. So I don't know who carried her tire the rest of the day. But anyway,
well, somebody else got
somebody else. That's for sure. All right, keep us rolling, Aaron.
Someone with more brain cells than that guy.
Yeah.
All right, so green flag, red flag number 3 of the night. Which was the better finish this weekend, the Xfinity race or the truck race? You had just saw the truck race finish. Granted, it was some controversy, but overall, a good finish to a overall kind of like an underwhelming day at Talladega for the Truck Series. But then we had the Xfinity Series, which again, kind of like an underwhelming day to the series. I think only like maybe 1 or 2 cautions throughout the entire day. The rest was just kind of like a 1 or 2 kind of like train lines going around the track just to click off laps. But then AJ Allmendinger pulling it out by 0.015 thousandths of a second victory, literally like 3 feet between him and I forgot who finished second place. But yeah, just that close. So green flag for trucks, red flag for Xfinity. Tom, what do you think?
Sam Mayer was second. I had to look it up too.
Sam Mayer. Okay.
Speaking of nobody remembers who gets second place, I had to look it up.
Yeah.
I'm going to say red flag Xfinity, and here's why. Because it was a pure finish. It was a finish the way it should be. It was a finish decided by the racers and the drivers and the people in the track, not decided by the flag man throwing a caution that probably should have never been thrown. The fact that I think in the truck race, the wrong guy wound up with the trophy, and it pains me to say that because I love Matty D. Matty D was one of my favorite drivers when he was in Cup. I was still cheering for him in trucks. And as much as it pains me to say it, because I'm such a Matt D fan, the wrong guy wound up with the trophy because NASCAR blew the call. So because of that, I'm going to have to go with Xfinity. And as a cherry on top of that, who doesn't want to see AJ Allmendinger celebrating in victory lane with all his enthusiasm and raw emotion? So I'm going Xfinity.
You know, Tom, I think we're going to go 3 for 3 here. I'm going to go red flag as well. Although both were great finishes, I got to go with what I got to go with what you said. The Xfinity was a pure finish. It wasn't hampered by NASCAR should not have done the caution or no, NASCAR should have done the caution because of this and this. There was no wreck. There was no contact being made. It was just who had the faster car at the last lap. That's all it was. And man, I mean, even though I love seeing AJ Allmendinger, basically be like I said earlier on this podcast, a kid on Christmas every time that he wins a race. My heart just sunk a little bit for Sam Mayer because he was so close. It's never the ones that you're going to lose a race. It's always the ones that you come up just short that always stick out in your mind, and you will always play back and think, where could I have gotten that extra like 3 or 4 feet? Where in that 400, 500 mile race could I have gotten just 3 more feet? That's all it took. And so I got to go with Xfinity, but God, it sucks for Sam Mayer.
It did. It definitely did. Okay. All right, we got one more green flag, red flag.
All right, fellas, one more, and we'll get on to the Charlotte Rowville Cup race prediction. Last one of the night. Underdog drivers have done well on road courses this year. Michael McDowell, got Chris Buescher, and Eric Jones have all collected multiple top 10 finishes on road courses this year. Will they get a W? I had to change the one a little bit just because it will not fit in this banner, Tom, so I do apologize. So, your choices are, well, green flag for yes and red flag for no. Will one of them break out and get a win on a road course this season? Green flag for yes, red flag for no. Tom, what do you think?
I'm going green flag. It took me about 20 races or maybe a little more to get on the bandwagon of all these new drivers winning and all this stuff. But now when I jump on the bandwagon, I jump on it all the way, okay?
At first.
I didn't think we were going to get past 13 different winners this year, okay? So it took a while convincing me, but I'm on the bandwagon now. It's going to be Michael McDowell, I think, because I can't go with Chris Buescher. I can't go with Eric Jones. They've already won. But I think it is going to be an underdog, and I think it's going to be Michael McDowell. He's been – if there's two places you can count on Michael McDowell to show up, it's at a road course or it's at a super speedway. Those have been his two strengths. I'm saying he gets it done this weekend. So I'm going Michael McDowell and green flag. The underdogs, baby. The underdogs. First-time winners this season.
All right. It looks like Mike Horace going to be on your side there. Green flag all the way. Unfortunately, Tom, this is where our roads split. I will have to go red flag. I seriously think we have seen all the first time winners this year. I think it's going to be mostly guys who've already won a race this season, already won a race, and sadly that does include Ryan Blaney. I think Talladega was probably his best shot. I truly do. Because, of course, at the start of Rowville, I mean, it's going to favor guys like Chase Elliott. It's going to favor guys like Kyle Larson. It's going to favor guys like Ryan Truex. He's been pretty good at the Rowville there, even though their road course package has been garbage. But I don't know. I don't see it happening. I want to see it happen. I want to be proved wrong, but I don't think it will happen. I think it's going to be like Kyle Larson or possibly Tyler Reddick. I truly think it's going to.
Okay.
But again,
Michael McDowell, 6th at Watkins Glen, 8th at the Indy Road Course, and 8th at Road America. I mean, he is consistently right there. I think he was 3rd at Sonoma. He's got a string of top 10s going here. So I'm saying it's not a bad pick.
It is absolutely not a bad pick. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying I think we saw it. I think we saw what we're going to be seeing.
Okay. All right. That is a nice segue into the next segment, which is our picks for the Charlotte Rowville. So, Aaron, who have you got for picks at the Charlotte Rowville?
Oh, sorry, Tom. Hang on. Mike Hora is booing me from the audience, and I need to let him finish. But anyway, I think he's done now. I'm going with my pick. Because I saw your pick and you picked mine, so I gotta go with somebody else. But there's a driver who I believe has won 2 road courses this season. I can't remember who it was. Oh yeah, Tyler Reddick has been phenomenal at the road courses. He's been very good at Charlotte Rowville last year. So I gotta go with the soon to be cast away at RCR, Tyler Reddick. For maybe his 4th win of the season. As my dark horse, you see, limited oddball, going to go with Cole Custer. Which is, I think, the first time any of us have actually picked Cole Custer to actually do well this season. 13.5 average finish at the Rowville, 1 top 10, 2 top 20s. Okay, actually, his best finish of 9th at the Rowville. So he's been fairly solid there. Hasn't made too much noise up front, but he's been solid. But you know what? With just this wacky season the way it is, I would not be surprised if Cole Custer just pulls a win out of nowhere to kind of like secure his spot. And so that's why I'm kind of going with Cole Custer, just because why not?
I think you just gave Cole Custer more airtime than he's had since his win at Phoenix. So
I know. Oh, actually, that was Actually, no. That was
Briscoe.
Briscoe, yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Well, anyway, since his last win, I'm going with the real dark horse, Chase Elliott. I know, shocking. Chase Elliott picked to win at a road course. I'm telling you, they're going to teach him how to turn right. Actually, I guess right this week. So Chase Elliott is my winner. My dark horse is Michael McDowell. But I am telling you, don't be surprised if that order is flipped and it's Michael McDowell winning and Chase Elliott in second place. I am on the bandwagon.
On the bandwagon,
winners this year, underdogs. I'm on the bandwagon now.
I mean, that would make, I believe, number 20 of the season if McDowell wins.
And I think that would break the record, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would, because I think right now we're tied at 19.
Right. Yeah.
But knowing this year and just how chaotic it's been, I mean, why not?
Yeah,
why not? You know, the more chaos, the better. Hopefully for all the right reasons this time.
Yeah.
Our Tom, sorry, you want to say something?
No, as far as us making picks, they have not made an announcement of whether Alex Bowman will be back or not, have they?
I believe
it's only Tuesday.
I believe I just saw right here from Alex Bowman. He is not going to be going to Charlotte this weekend.
Oh.
Which is concerning.
Yeah.
We have another Kurt Busch situation on our hands.
Yeah, I am. You go all the way back to the start of the season. We were hearing some scary things about the crash test data on this car. And I don't think we ever actually got to see some of the numbers as far as, I don't know exactly how they measure it, whether it was G forces or force of the impact, but there was a lot of talk that it wasn't good and that there was a lot of concern. And it's almost like it got swept away and brushed under the rug because we never actually were able to see what any of the crash data said. There was just rumors that it was not good, and without numbers to back it up, I think the story faded away. But the injuries we're seeing is showing that they've got some work to do on this car to make it safer, especially with hits with the back of the car. And I fail to believe that if you're getting a concussion, that they can just add a little more padding to the headrest and solve the problem. I don't think it's going to be a fix that simple. But now I'm afraid that NASCAR has got a limited window, no pun intended, to get this fixed before we're talking about somebody's funeral.
And probably a limited window, probably until the Daytona 500 next week, or next year. For next year.
I would agree.
Because
all right, again, closing comments. What you got, Aaron?
Closing comments. We're on the white flag. I just want to give one more shout out to Caleb Metros for being a channel member for that man's awesome YouTube channel. You have made the right call, the right decision. You will not be disappointed by this man. He is a phenomenal dude. We absolutely love him. Beloved by our NASCAR online community. Just an absolute all-around amazing man. I'm lucky to know him.
Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it. And glad to have you on board, Caleb. Again, my parting comments, and I said this earlier, but I'm going to do it real quick. Friends of mine started a podcast, and some people helped me out and gave me shout-outs when I was trying to get started. So I'm going to return the favor by paying it forward. They're doing one called Running on Scuffs. It's Monday nights. They have a YouTube channel up. I'm going to post a link to their channel here in the comments, but check them out. Subscribe to their channel. Follow them. I think if you like our format, you'll like them too. Very good dudes, very knowledgeable. They are, without a doubt, the second smartest group of people talking NASCAR next to Aaron and I, and probably the second best looking too. So you're going to love them. Check them out. Running on Scuffs. There's a link in the comments.
Absolutely, guys. So please go follow them as well as follow us if you want to.
Please hit that subscribe button. Follow us on YouTube and on Facebook. The Loose Lug Nuts.
Please do. And I believe that will do it for tonight. We will see you guys back next week, Tuesday, 9 o'clock, right here on the YouTube channel of the Setup Man. where we will kind of break down and discuss the next elimination race for the Charlotte Rowville, and I believe I still have our picks as to who will get eliminated because we didn't even talk about that the entire show.
We didn't. We'll see if we're right.
I believe. Okay, so here is my round of elimination: Cindric, Bowman, Blaney, and Briscoe. I think we're all going to be pretty much on spot with Bowman now since he will not be racing. It's unfortunate. And then we got Tom's list: Briscoe, Bowman, Suarez, and Cindric. So pretty much the same four, all except for Cindric and Suarez being swapped out. And I believe that will do it for tonight. Hopefully next week we can get Zach back in here if he feels so inclined. But y'all have a very good night. Be safe, and of course tune back in next week as we will break down the Charlotte Rowville.
Yep. Enjoy the races, and we will catch you here Tuesday night. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely, guys. Y'all take care.